The year is 1991, and Mike Tyson had already become a living legend just 6 years after making his professional boxing debut. However, when the world learned that his next formidable opponent was none other than Donovan Ruddock, concerns arose for the reign of the young monarch fighting for the chance to reclaim his crown. With a bit more experience and greater proportions, the Canadian could potentially halt the momentum propelling Tyson to glory. Welcome. In today's video, I bring you the first part of an unprecedented sports clash. What happens when you leave two deadly weapons to their own devices in no man's land? Find out by watching this video until the end. Never before had a heavyweight elimination fight been experienced like this. Anyone who had the fortune to witness this contest live could affirm. On March 18, 91, at the Mirage Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, the best of the best were tested as future title contenders. Tyson entered the fight as the #1 contender of the World Boxing Council, the World Boxing Association, and the International Boxing Federation. His professional record was 39 wins, claiming 35 of them by ruthless knockout, and one defeat that shattered the myth of invincibility but didn't necessarily make him a comfortable opponent in the ring. Ruddock entered the fight as the heavyweight contender #2 of the same organizations. With a professional record of 25 wins, achieving 18 of them by knockout, 1 loss and 1 draw, he seemed ready to take the position Tyson's powerful fists had claimed before. Accompanied by the legendary Richard Steele in the ring, the fight had its highly anticipated start. Tyson emerged from his corner with the aggression that characterized him, but for a change, he met the same attitude from his opponent.
For a home run with an uppercut which missed. The big question, can Ruddock withstand the cut?
It didn't take long for Ruddock to suffer a stumble that put Tyson in the lead. Filled with confidence, regardless of physical differences, Mike continued attacking Donovan, working for his victory from the first second. By the end of the round, the bout had turned into a close exchange of blows where Tyson set the pace. With this opening, the question of how long it would take the great Iron Mike to bring down the Canadian giant hung in the air.
Stop Iron Mike. What a right hand by Tyson, but it missed. And we felt the breeze. It was right above us. An associate minister lets them know. First combination punch is thrown, but there's another one. A good shot by Tyson hitting after.
The second episode opened, and quickly, the doubt that lingered in the minds of much of the audience that night was dispelled. A powerful left punch by Tyson was the reason Ruddock hit the canvas. Getting up immediately, it was evident that not even he could believe what had happened. After receiving the mandatory 8 count from Steele, the fight resumed. Tyson, now with the confidence of the recent turn of events, turned into a beast that Donovan could barely withstand. With clinches, he bought as much time as he could to prevent his tragic fall to the canvas from having a sequel. Back for the third round, it was undeniable that Tyson set the pace of the fight while Ruddock tried to keep up. Mike fought in expert mode, and the one threatening to take his ranking had switched to survival mode.
Take advantage. Never been in this kind of an atmosphere before, champ.
But when you can't defend yourself against Tyson's ruthless punches, the outlook can only be dark. Eventually, Tyson's sadistic onslaught took effect, and the most anticipated sequel at the moment created a stir in the audience. Donovan Ruddock had fallen to the canvas for the second time. Again, a violent left punch by Tyson forced the Canadian giant to take a break. His face was a picture, it left him stunned.
He just doesn't quite get this. There's a left by Ruddock, a left by Tyson, and down goes Ruddock.
At the count of 4, he was already on his feet, and fortunately, at the count of 8, when he was ready to return to the fight, the bell rang, announcing the end of the round. Now, Ruddock was in serious trouble. Tyson forced Ruddock to receive a greater dose of his merciless punches, just starting the 4th round. He knew that bringing down a giant would take more work than he had been doing, but that wasn't a problem for a fighter with his performance in the ring.
Mike Tyson having his way with right groans. That body shot sounded like he hit a drum. Again, the crowd groans. Relentless attack by Tyson.
Focused on nothing but securing his victory, he landed powerful punches on the body of a Donovan who already seemed exhausted, while he relied on his good footwork to dodge the majority of counterattacks.
And raising a rush. Come on, work it out.
This scenario created a new question in the audience. Everyone was wondering how much longer the Canadian giant would resist facing Tyson. Tyson had become a predator by the time the 5th episode began. For Donovan, the fight was now a test of endurance.
Fire going again. Steele. Warning. Oh.
Without major attempts to attack, he was submissive to absorbing the fearless punches Tyson landed almost unopposed on his body. Was he waiting for the youngest heavyweight champion in history to tire out to launch a new phase of his strategy? If so, it seemed that the plan wasn't unfolding as he had structured it in his mind.
Question is integrity or his honesty. A flurry in the Tyson with it. He was looking for his 3rd straight. Oh, look at
Ruddock's body collided with the ropes as soon as the 6th round began. With Tyson advancing like a tank, it was evident that the Canadian giant felt intimidated by his rival. For seconds, he tried to keep the beast at bay by stretching his left fist. However, Tyson was a master at sneaking in his attacks no matter how far or high his target was. Donovan continued trying to gain time in the clinches, but even in them, Mike found a way to connect his insolent fists to his body.
Oh, nice right hand by Tyson. Come on, break. Tyson way ahead, 50 to 43 on 5. These wild punches by Ruddock. Ruddock's throwing some hard leather from time to time. Only takes one in the...
It seemed that short or medium-range combat had the same result for Ruddock, becoming a victim of an executioner who had entered the ring to carry it out. With the crowd ecstatic, only a couple of minutes separated Tyson from victory. Of course, this was something both fighters were unaware of. It was the element of surprise that made what I am about to narrate so exciting.
Continues to stay on his feet. He's been knocked out twice early. 71 in 3.
While everyone listened to the bell that signaled the beginning of the 7th round, Tyson seemed to have heard "go for the head." Ruddock continued trying to buy time and reduce Tyson's attack chances with clinches, but it's not a strategy you can sustain during a 12-round scheduled fight. With Steele putting distance between them, Tyson's possibilities increased. With it, his offense grew and the pressure he exerted on the Canadian giant's voluptuous body also increased. A good punch after each clinch was enough to continue weakening a Ruddock who was only floundering.
See how Tyson moves on here in the 7th round.
When he was positioned against the ropes, his point of no return finally arrived.
The breeze just then. Tyson has Ruddock on the rope. If Tyson applies the pressure, he's got him where...
Steele put some distance between the fighters for the last time, but Donovan's guard didn't rise fast enough for what followed. Tyson, tired of playing with his prey, decided to turn the boxing ring into the scene of a massacre by executing a violent combination of punches that made the head of the Canadian giant dance from side to side. Retreating, Ruddock didn't have the strength to raise his fists and cover himself from the masterful offensive Tyson demonstrated after 6 hard rounds working to get to that point. Therefore, Richard Steele decided to separate the fighters one last time and check what everyone already knew: Donovan Ruddock was finished. Amid hugs with his corner, Mike Tyson celebrated the significant victory in his career by technical knockout against the fighter who posed the greatest threat to his ranking. Unsatisfied with the result, Donovan Ruddock faced Mike Tyson once again 3 months after what I just narrated. What happened? That's a story for another video. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. I remind you that there is no better way to support my content than by leaving your like on the video. Do you have some free time? Visit my channel. There you'll find videos with the best and worst of boxing available to accompany you at any time of your day. You just have to hit play on the next one and see me there. Now that you know the story behind the first encounter between these two lethal machines of the discipline, when do you think Donovan Ruddock sealed his fate against Mike Tyson? I'll read your comments.